Good morning, Don Kabbes with Dale Cowan here. We're down in near Stony Point in Essex County. Dale, what are we seeing in the soybean crop so far this year?
Well, depending where you are and depending on how much rain you got, but normally I'd say as a theme overall, we're finding plant population a little light. We didn't get a good emergence and good establishment, but beans do fill in, as we all know. So we've got, our pod counts are actually up this year over other years, maybe as high as 15%. So we're seeing tremendous compensation with the thin stands, lots more branching, a lot more podding, and you know, you can kind of read a soybean plant like a weather barometer. It's you can tell when the rain came and when it didn't just by the pod sets. Some of these middle pods, you know, we've had 5 flowers and we got 5 pods and 2 aborted flowers. That's a pretty good set that you don't normally see sometimes in a good year. So beans are handling the stress.
Describe the rainfall pattern we've had here in Essex County. A little bit different than the rest of the province.
Yeah, so well, very sporadic through May and June, and even when we did get rain, it was nothing over an inch of rain. It was all 3, 4, 5, 10 millimeter rains at the most. So, but we seem to have gotten some rain about mid-season, and certainly when you look at the later pod sets, I mean, here's a top cluster of 4 pods, another 4, and even the top cluster at 3 pods. So rain has obviously come late enough in the season to help fill those beans in.
What does the Essex County farmer, or the corn, look like here in Essex County? Take a quick switch.
Well, corn is probably, again, it's highly variable. Again, some of the dry weather right at pollination time has affected cob size and cob fill. So it depends, again, if you look at a rainfall map, you pretty much calculate what the corn yields are going to be. So it's pretty much matching up with where the rainfall occurred.
And what are your first day results? What kind of things were we seeing on our first day out?
On corn, for example, I thought initially the population was a little light, but this is why you have 9 years of records. You can go back and say our populations are actually a little higher than last year, which is surprising. Cob length is kind of hanging in there. If anything, row girth is down a bit. So between a higher population and decent cob length, we're coming in at a pretty decent average yield so far.
And what are we getting on overall pod counts on beans?
I'd say at this early stage, we've probably got half the beans in. We're probably looking at 15 to 20% higher pod set or higher pod counts, which translates into a substantial yield increase on soybeans.
So it's interesting when you look at your marketing where you're at, it feels that we've got a pretty good corn crop coming. Bean crop looks pretty promising as well. Take a look at your marketing. You've got lots of soybeans probably done at $12.50 to $13. Price is off a little wee bit now, but take a look what happens between now and harvest. Seasonally will likely drift lower. Maybe a good place to have a quick look at your marketing. Where are you at? Does this added crop, do you take some advantage to it today?
Yeah, I think most of us in the province have been out in the field. We're kind of thinking that if we're going to set a new provincial yield record on soybeans, this just might be the year. Surprising as that sounds, we can't go over just how well these soybeans have set pods.
Yeah, it's a very good looking crop, and here, as Dale said, you know, not a huge amount of rain in this area, and still a good looking crop of soybeans.
Yeah. Height of soybeans does not translate into yield usually. If you just look at the internode length in here, I mean, the pods are almost touching on the main stem node, so it's the number of nodes on the main stem that set the pods. It's not the height of the soybean crop, so don't be fooled by that. You got to get out and look.
So with that, if you do want to have your field assessed, go on to the Great Lakes Grain, Agris, or FS Partners websites, log in and put your information in. We'll be more than happy to come out and check out your field and see how your crop is doing, or contact any of our locations. Be more than happy to help you out. So day 2 down here in Essex. More videos to come here as this week unfolds. Our results will present those at the Outdoor Farm Show next week. So come around and see us at the FS booth at the Outdoor Farm Show. Thank you and have a great day.